abysmal. Already abysmal. Fucking what on earth title sequence? Absolutely not.
So yeah, Call of Duty would definitely show up to the Warzone in this. By my own criteria, it did give me variety, as you can see in the reaction footage.
Drop it into the Warzone. No objective, drop it into the Warzone.
In a sense, I appreciate that they have somehow tied in something I always thought about things like domination, like it's just capture the flag. It's like, what is the purpose of this? You know, military people wouldn't really be doing this. This is all silly. At least they tried to like make it make sense. But it's lazy. It's fun. Like the Farah one was good. That being said, as some people point out, you lose emotion of her character. And like Graves, of all people, is the one comforting her on the mic. The Price one was infuriating. So simple once you know what to do, but it's like, how are they detecting me? You just run to the edge of the map and they'll be like, oh. Also, speaking of the edge of the maps, where they have drawn the edge of the maps and where they claim the combat zone ends are two different things. Because twice I got caught out because I was at the edge, but I was off mission. But I was like, the map still exists. Like, the hard border is higher than the place that you're telling me I'm outside of. So what are you talking about? Lazy recycled Warzone maps as well. I think what really struck me is that yes, the levels are varied, but it's not really varied in a way that it could be. And I appreciate that they give you different ways, in theory, to approach the mission. Stealth or all out guns blazing. But do they really give you that much choice? I stealthed as much as I could during the Goradam mission. Then I got caught, and then it's like, well, you wasted 20 minutes, you should have just gone in guns blazing. It feels pointless regardless of the consequences, and having them in your ear telling you, I genuinely thought the mission was going to time out, like I'd made a mistake, like it was going to come up and be like, the point of this is to not attract attention. Some people were arguing positively for the infiltration into Melena's house because they said, oh, but Soap and Ghost have all these banterful dialogue, just like Alone. I don't know why you're complaining. Well, sweetheart, if Laswell and everyone wasn't shouting at me every 2 seconds in my ear that you need to get a move on, you need to get a move on, you need to get a move on. But it was all the time, I felt, unless I just have a very skewed perception of time, but I know that they do that. But I feel like in things like Cold War, I remember being able to walk around an insanely long amount of time, especially in East Berlin, when Lazar's waiting for me, and they would sometimes remind me of that. But you have loads of time to just sort of do whatever. If you want to go stealth, like go real hard stealth. It's unfair to compare them because they're different styles of games. But this is why Cold War, for me, even though the campaign is extremely short, works. You can play it this way, and then you get this thing, and then this thing you didn't notice in Vietnam, and then this thing you didn't notice, and if you disobey Adler's instructions, you get this ending, and you even end up in the pit with the zombies. That's even before you get to the end of the game, where obviously there are technically 3 endings, because there's Solovetsky, or there's Duga, you kill him instantly, or Duga where you light his cigarette. 2 seconds still changes the way you feel. Can they not look at that and be like, this campaign was tiny. Black Ops campaign Cold War is tiny, yet it's sold extremely well. How can they not look at it, and how do they not know? The game just feels overwhelmingly exactly what it is. Cheap DLC that would have been a bad DLC, to be quite honest, if that was all that they were going to do. If they were going to do something as serious as what they did narratively with Soap, it wouldn't be in a DLC. I'm going to find you some facts, okay? Cold War appears to have taken a year and maybe a few months to get where it is. Now, obviously, we can't say how much was actually developed by Sledgehammer before it exploded in on itself, and Treyarch had to come save them. But okay, we'll be very generous and say that it had 2 years to get to where it is. Fair enough. COD 3 had 7 months. Though, obviously, they're still planning for the DLC before that. So we'll say, since the release of Modern Warfare 2 and the success, they immediately went into production. So that's a year. However, Modern Warfare is at an advantage because it should have had a pre-laid plot. So Cold War, they're kind of taking on elements of the previous Black Ops stories and real life and coming up with a new way to incorporate all that. And they made the story make sense, and they set up, they not only had a satisfying resolution, sort of, to the main villain, The way they resolved it in Warzone with like Perseus being an idea rather than a man, like that kind of stuff, leaves you open always. It isn't really taking anything from the previous Black Ops games. There's similarities between types of missions, similarities between types of the settings, but I feel like it feels like narratively and characterization wise a new thing that they did. Modern Warfare should, since before 2019, have had a clear plot outline of this is the first arc, this is the second arc, this is the final arc. They had literal games that if they were really lazy, they should have just remade. But they didn't, as shown by Modern Warfare 2019. They introduced new characters who are some of the most redeeming qualities about the trilogy. I'm happy to see Farah there. It's giving Star Wars sequels, it's literally the same problem. Get these characters established that are new, interesting, exciting. Well, become of them. Focus on one of them. Okay, and then introduce another character that is then suddenly like the main focus. So I guess Soap and Ghost or Kylo in the middle. And then at the end it's like, let's put them all there but not really give them anything. Except maybe one of them can get like a development. Even in the sequels, like at least Rey has some like thing that she goes through, even if it makes no sense. It's like, okay, she's ended with the knowledge of what she wanted to know in the first film. I know that COD is not, like, the point is not for characterization. You can argue about that all day long. That's fine. Then why make a campaign? I make a campaign with characters that have dialogue and cutscenes if the characters mean nothing and they get to go on zero journey and the plot is stupid. Riddle me that. Kaz is like one of the best characters. Okay, he maybe had his arc mostly complete in 19. We can leave him there and he can still make crucial decisions, and the things that he has learned and reflected upon since joining the service could be of relevance. Soap, who's Soap? We learn in the flashback that he was hot-headed, but he was right. So what's his character arc? Oh, he was right. We didn't listen to him. Now he's dead. Before he becomes Captain McTaps, before anything. This was the perfect opportunity to make Price die, because Price's arc, in a lot of ways, has been completed. He brought these people together. He's like the parallel, the cut from Undying Loyalty to the 141. Okay, Price is the Makarov, and these people are with him, but they're with him for like the right reasons, not for money. Their loyalty cannot be bought, and there should have been a real hammering home of that point. The way Milena gives up the information so easily. Nolan was pointless, but you could have had it that Nolan cracked with the right plea deal. That then the thing that can't touch the 141 is that their loyalty has no price. And Price himself is the loyalty, and then he's the cost. Like, he dies or he gets abducted, and that's what puts them in a vulnerable position. All you needed to do was add like an extra 2 levels and 3 really good cinematics to connect those ideas together. Like another open world mission in there. Compared to Cold War, I felt like I was playing the same mission again. The infiltration were the chemical missiles with Price and Farah. Well, not only is it very similar to that one before with like a lighthouse base in Modern Warfare 2, but it reminds me of Red Light, Green Light. We just have to go into the base, you have to be all stealthy and get around people, and then there's this big like drama reveal, and then you find a nice mix of stealth combat, one-on-one avoiding combat, because I feel like you cannot get through that base without killing everybody. I did do it without killing everybody. I got like into the basement with Farah, but then there were too many people. I mean, they had more reinforcements. There was too many people whenever I was trying to like close the doors, so it always feels pointless. You don't get a win because there's still 2 missiles he sets off somewhere else. It just is so narratively and gameplay wise frustrating. The Red Light, Green Light lasts like another like I'd say 20 minutes. There's an easy 20-30 minutes extra time, and it's just 1 level. And High Rise, you know, I saw some other guy playing this, and he's a cutie, and he was like, wow, this map is really like a maze, and I'm like, no, it's not. I got to level 8 within like 10 minutes. Yeah, it's well mapped to an extent. There seems to be details around it, but I'm just like, I don't feel like there's any stakes in this High Rise. It is literally, I'm the Ascender. And then I kill a load of people in a room, a load of people through a window, and I swing on a crate, very nice. Then I kill a load of people here, then I kill a load of people on the roof. And I attach a skyhook, and it appears that something crashes into the balloon, but it doesn't matter. I don't know. I thought that would be a perfect moment for Price to... I could have done a hostage exchange thing for Nolan and Price. Anything to make it narratively connect with any theme. As the guy with the whiteboard, I'll link him below, he pointed out brilliantly that Farah says at the start, like, I'll make them pay, and then doesn't. So basically this whole thing was a long bridge to set up a more expensive game. in the next 2 years. And like, I understand the company's desire to get money, but I just can't believe that they didn't care at all how badly it was going to be received, because you have to know that this is going to happen. I just can't believe that they were willing to throw their own artists, their own writers. Well, I can, because they keep cutting them out of every, as soon as a project's finished, they let them go. But I'm like, you know how bad the press is around you at the minute. Do you not think you would do something to redeem yourself? It's like when you clog the toilet and then you just take a massive dump in it anyway. You're not going to magically make the situation better. It's already clogged, but you could at least do the dignity of not making it worse, because someone else, probably Treyarch, is going to have to come in and fix this relationship by releasing like the world's best Black Ops game. And like the fandom around this game is crazy. I have never seen the like of it. I mean, I was in Tumblr back in the days of Super Hula, Destial shippers. And yeah, they were very intense and they would be very strange with the actors. But it felt like there was maybe more of a barrier between them. And it feels like they were bigger stars. I'm sure they weren't. But like Neil Ellis is sitting on Twitter talking people down from the ledge. It's unprecedented that actors who are doing a video game should have to face this stuff. But the studios could see from the response to Modern Warfare 2 that they were getting that much attention. TikTok. They owe TikTok a good million of their sales, because the amount of girls that got into that game because they thirsted over Ghost and Koenig. They have the best attention. Now you've just lost. What are you doing? This is mad, and you have actually put them under stress. If you wanted to kill Soap, it was going to happen. You don't need to not kill him for the sake of a fangirl's feelings. But do it in a way that gives him closure, that isn't ridiculous. You didn't finish his story, he just began. And I know that that's supposed to be the big tragedy, but it doesn't feel like the big tragedy, it feels like the big fuck up. Even if he dies in the next game, he would have still died too soon. Another game of him and Simon bonding over Price's death, I think Soap would get. But then there's no reason why Soap would get promoted over Ghost, the way the games have set him up. So whatever way around you want to do it, Ghost is now the captain. Gaz is then the one that is sort of like the outsider, because he's struggling to find that dynamic, and then they work it out together, and Farah gets her chance to have real revenge. Ghost gets personal revenge on Makarov, or Gaz gets personal revenge on Makarov. That would be even better. That ends his arc nicely. And then Soap and Ghost are working together, and he gets that little like nod of approval from Ghost. Or maybe even that, like, he's sorry for, like, criticizing Johnny's way or whatever. Like, you need someone like Johnny to get you out of a situation. Then the same kind of thing happens in the original Modern Warfare 3. And Ghost is the one, like, crying over his body. Like, they're going to keep Ghost. He's, like, their most marketable character. You could still do that. And have him and Ghost and Gaz be, like, the next, like, if you want to keep doing, like, if you want to do a second trilogy, that could be the next thing. This one should have had Price die. Second trilogy should have started with Soap dying. At the end of the first game. Then the second game is like Gaz and Ghost revenge, and then whatever you want the conclusion to that. Or even the first game could just be them, I don't know, the middle game could be Farah's revenge, and then the final could be like the final revenge of Ghost and Gaz. Like, that's the one. You have enough plot here if you knew how to connect any of your plot threads together. It feels like a waste of time just sitting here now being like, oh, this would have been great, because I'm like, yeah, it would have been great. But it's too late. That's the most upsetting thing about it. We just have to accept this and move on. The millions of pounds that were thrown away, these actors' careers, these talents that were thrown away on something that is so beneath them. I love trash, but this is too serious to be trash. What a way to just shoot yourself. I don't even care. Like, fanfiction exists for a reason. I have been part of fandoms that died. Well, sorry, I'm part of fandoms for franchises that died 50 years ago. And we're still retconning and ignoring the end and going through the first 110 episodes but never getting to the 111th. We will make it work. And I think the zombies thing in Modern Warfare 3 is so they can bring Soap back. I know from the cinematics and stuff, he's going to die, but he's going to be resurrected. Something that happens so he's not actually dead. They always find a way to do this. And then this is the problem, is because once you know that they're probably going to do that, the stakes are nothing. I knew I was going to be disappointed. I just didn't realise how badly I was going to be disappointed. I find there is so little to redeem this game. So, variety mildly succeeded, but mostly failed. Storyline failed, to be quite honest. They start and end in the same position. Price inhales chemical weapons, no consequence. Laswell inhales chemical weapons, no consequence. They should have been out of action, and the boys should have then had to do the mission themselves, and that would have been the struggle. And when Soap dies, Price can blame it on himself because he wasn't there. And soundtrack, that song at the very, very end credits immediately gives this game 0. I'm sorry, everyone can have their music taste, but that's just not it. The only benefit I can say is Farah and Alex are there, and I like them. Graves gets some fucking hilarious one-liners. Graves fans came out winning, and I never thought I would say that, unfortunately, because Graves is terrible. If they retcon him that he's Adler's son, I will personally attack. Makarov's cool. I like his softly spoken voice. He's giving girly pop low-key. I think it's just the actor and his TikToks. I like him. I think he conveys quiet menace. He is giving the Joker, as someone pointed out. I do see that. He's like with his philosophical one-liners and stuff. But it gives the illusion that he has the brains and the malice to back it up, because he's not playing. He has charisma, he has a bit of bite, he has a bit of ice. You're not in doubt that he's doing what he's doing. Purely chaotic, selfish reasons with no mercy. Although giving a bit too much anarchy as opposed to this is a master plan. But then again, I mean, the original guy is also giving anarchy. I don't know why me getting angry at it for 25 minutes is going to really, like, help. Jesus Christ. If my points are valid, let me know. If you want to add anything to them, just keep the discussion going, because I feel like I'm just kind of trapped in, like, a rage pit, and I want some understanding, either exactly validating why it's so bad or encouraging me to look at the good. I have been Count Bella, codename Boss Bitch, and you can find me on Activision ID as Gay Slut for Adler. I will still be playing on Twitch. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you again soon, where I can complain about more things that I supposedly love. Bye!
Oh, it's giving, okay. This is why putting everything in your stupid cinematics that nobody watches is so alienating and annoying. Like, you've just dropped Graves in here. Girl, the last time I saw him, he was exploded in a tank trying to kill Soap. Why on earth do I want him walking around here? Weapons free open combat mission mean? Weapons free open combat, that's what it says. Oh, so I have to find the weapons? Oh my god, I'm putting this in a main fucking campaign. Are you actually serious? Not the 700 hours to reload the shotgun, King. They don't give you a border of where the mission is, so that's fun and exciting and enjoyable to play. You know how there's people say this is like how people talk in porn, it has to be another thing. This is how people talk in Call of Duty, because nowhere on earth has anyone ever spoken like this, or if they do, they would get fired for being an annoying cunt. I hate him so much, but like Graves is the only quotable character in this game. His mouse didn't move during the most pivotal dialogue of the game. Love that. Modern Warfare 3 really said 2 juggernauts kill them in 2 seconds, but a bomb, a grenade went too close to you, even though you walked out of the way, you're dead. I know I've been spoiled, but like, is this all it is? Like, and this is it? Like, this is the worst narrative arc send-off possible.